22 bare knuckle fights, 13 wins, 7 lost, 2 draws. I've been in with them all, but big and small. I had the world title, the lightweight, and I had the British, 4 different weights, twice at bantamweight, you know. I was in the prize fight, the semi-finalist, featherweight and flyweight world title contender against Dan Chapman and Tyler Goodjohn, you know, controversial decision.
You definitely won that.
Tyler Goodjohn.
Yeah.
They was building a star one day, boys.
Yeah.
You know,
Get those from the track for. Some man they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em ain't like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls hat, roll stack, my flow sharp like a hacksaw. Getting off.
Right, we're here, episode 15 of the Tanked Up podcast. Today's guest is one we've had probably calls for in the comments since the very first one, especially on a big Welsh following. So this man is a BKB legend. His life's been full of ups and downs, but no matter what, he always seems to end up on top. He's got unmatched mental strength and has bested many of his opponents in the BKB ring. He's an Hall of Famer with 22 BKB fights, British titles, world titles, hands of steel, and a cult following like no other. Put some cheese on it, ladies and gentlemen, for Sean the Outlaw George.
cheers, guys.
Nice one, mate.
Yes, Joe.
Cheers for coming.
Yes, Jack. Appreciate you having me on, you guys.
Yeah, we thought, got to have you on. Like, obviously, you had you on my podcast a load of times. 5 times. But I wanted to get you in here, talk you through what's going on, because I know, obviously, you've had a lot going on, but I think we need to get into that a little bit later down the road.
Yes.
Just want to put a bit of context on who you are and what's led you to this point, really. So
Right then, yeah. So I'm Sean George. I'm from Abdulleri. Jack knows me. His family knows me. Like, you know, troublesome little kid growing up and all that. You know, never set myself any goals or like that. In and out of work and like that. Didn't really do good in school. But then obviously I stumbled across martial arts. I'm pretty late in my life. Around 19 years old, I think I was traveling back and forth like Newport, Gary Gass's gym and all that with Lee Stingymore doing the kickboxing, and then we come across the Thai, and I was around the same time then that I joined with the Falcons then, like, you know, training with your old man and that's before he was teaching and all that.
Yeah,
like,
the old school Falcons martial arts, like Joe Duffy.
Yeah, Joe Duffy.
Mike Saturday, Marshman, Chris Edwards. Well, I don't think Des actually went to Falcons, but we was all mixing in the same circles on, and obviously
way before them, like
long time ago.
The Darryl Jameses, like I said, the Joe Duffy, you know, the Brad One Punch Pickett's fighting on cards the same time as them, like, you know. So I was always destined to try and make a career out of it, like, you know. I was working at the time, P&P as a plasterer, and then worst thing happened to me, but I got civilised then, didn't I? Passed my test and all the things I missed out on, you know, I started to do then, like.
yeah, going out. That's a standard sort of thing. Then you start going out drinking when you're 18 and whatever.
Yeah, going out, meeting
passions
people,
go.
boys, girls, fucking introduced to drugs and things, and like, you know, it wasn't so much about cocaine back then, like, it was about the ecstasy and things like that, and cheap and cheerful, dance all night long then, like, fucking chat in people's kitchen and I, like, you know, wake up, end up places you don't even know where the f*** you are. But like, it was all new to me, so I liked that, like, but slowly but surely, obviously things started to deteriorate then, like, I lost my job and I started to steer away from the fight, and even though I had good people around me trying to guide me, your own man, for instance, like, you know, we talked about it many times, but the path he tried to put me on, the path not to go down, like, and it never happened for me. I went on the wrong path, and then I got introduced to cocaine, and I did, like, you know, so I'm dabbling in that shit, and I lost my job, like, so tried to sell it and try to live off it, silly thing to do, like, but it was just to fund my own habit, it was. So things got from bad to worse. Like I said, I ended up all in debt, and then I tried to commit a silly crime, and like in my own village, where I ended up in prison, and like, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so obviously, like you said, you got into a little bit of trouble as a youngster. Did end up going to jail for a couple of years, I think. That's it was. Right. So touch on that a little bit for us, and just give them a bit of a background on, you know, as much as you can of what happened, what you kind of took from going to jail, because I know once you come out, you never went back. You kind of put yourself on the straight and narrow. So just touch on what that, not what jail is like, but, you know, what it kind of was to you in terms of
it's like
what you was going through when you was in there, what you fought, you know, and it obviously kind of scared you straight in a way, because you never did go back.
Yeah, so people was telling me before I went in there what it was going to be like, you know. I tried to get a mindset, but it was completely different, but I was all alone in there, like, you know. So I was in Cardiff prison, I was, and all my friends sort of scattered, but as they do, like, a couple of stay close to me, but obviously I needed a few to back me up, and they didn't, so I was practically on my own in there. But so yeah, I just I just kept my head down in there. I did, but I just done what I had to do, done all my courses. I went back to school and that in there. I did, and then I just got out at the earliest option.
How long did you do altogether?
I had 3.5 years. I done 2 years of it. I did in Cardiff. Fucking shit all, but you're in there all alone. It's like you leave your life on the gate on the way in there. Like, it's selfish, really. You just got to get on with it, if you know what I mean. Your family visiting and all that is fucking terrible, but
it's got to be like a scary place to be, innit? And like Jack was saying, I think most people end up going back, don't they? So you're a credit to yourself. Like, I know going there in the first place isn't the ideal thing, but being able to come out and reinvent yourself is like...
especially when you've been out, you've got to be well over 10 years now. And
over that, but it was 2008 I committed that crime. I went away in 2009. So anyway, when I'm in prison, like, obviously I had all my family sending my photos in when I done a couple of semi-pro fucking fights and that, and obviously I had a board in there, all my photos was on, and every day the screws to come in and check the bars and the bolts, they call it, and I check the windows, make sure you ain't escaping and blah, blah, blah. And they always looked at my board and they said, like, what are you doing in here? You're a waste of talent. And when I told them what I did, they found it fucking funny. Like, it was totally out of character and that for me. So I was always destined to go back to the fighting, but that was one thing on my mind I wanted to do when I got out. And I wasn't out long, but I got straight back to the Celtic Pride. I did the Thai boxing, like...
So, I mean, it's safe to say, innit, some people... It's the old saying of some people are born fighters. Some people are kind of made fighters. I think it's obvious to most people that you're a born fighter. Like you said, when you're in there, all you're thinking about is getting out. I've been fighting all your life pretty much, competitively. Dare say you've dabbled in a couple of little street fights as well, but more than likely been in it your whole life. So when you was inside, was that something you was just thinking to yourself to kind of get you through? I'm going to get out, I'm going to get back into training, and I'm going to love to get back on that.
It's like the perfect balance and the perfect lifestyle. Like, when you're involved in martial arts and a good team and a good club, it steers you away from the drugs and the drink and all the muppets on the town, don't it? Like, and that's what I needed again. I knew that, and that's what I needed to do again. Like, so that's what I did.
It helps. I think it helps around you as well, especially martial arts with good people, because a lot of people you train with are more often not on the same path as you, and they're not kind of the type that's going to try and lead you this way or lead you down that path.
I would advise it to anybody, but any sort of martial arts, any sort of discipline, but for, like I said, the discipline, the self-respect, respect of others and all that, but, and like I said, it keeps you in that group of good people, don't it? Like, and away from the nonsense and the naughty, like, because it's tough to get caught up in that things, like, your mates and that are doing it, but, you just want to do it to associate with them is fucking shit, but peer pressure and things like that, doing this, doing that, what sort of friend I want to do that,
It's part of the culture now, isn't it? Sadly.
But,
and, like, especially when you're
as well, that's the problem.
Yeah, when you're young as well, I think, like, genuinely, I've never done that. I've done some other things, but won't go into that. But I know when you're younger, I think as well, you get all this pressure off them, because I think if you're not doing it, they don't like it. They want everyone involved. They don't want to seem like you're an outcast.
You just feel left out, don't you? Outcast. You just say, you just feel left out, not part of the crew and all that. Like, and it's peer pressure, and you just do it. Well, that's what happened to me anyway with the cocaine, but going through the pill days and all, I never bothered. And then it was one of my mates then who introduced me to it, like, so just what to say, don't I? Like, but yeah, man. So anyway, I come out of prison with nothing and no one. Fucking went back to the Thai boxing. I had a couple of Thai boxing fights. And then I stumbled across the bare knuckle.
Yeah, so how did you come across the bare knuckle in the first? Because it was when you got into it, it was like it wasn't even close to what it is. No, it was. So, I remember watching videos of people fighting in A bales or
that's where it evolved from. It's still going now. The A bales, like, there's a couple of promotions still carrying that the A bales and all that. So I was doing a couple of Thai boxing fights. I had my little girl Ayla. I took a break from that then, and then I stumbled across the B-Bad, it was called back in the day, like. So Christian Evans and Leon Corker was fighting on a football field in Kettering in a boxing ring, like, with no gloves. And I thought, fucking hell, that's fucking all right, man, isn't it? A bit of me, like, making sure it was real and things like that. Seeing Leon Corker spark this boy out there, and I thought, fucking hell. I got that mentality to just jumping in, have a go. Like, I was thinking about the money, like, a couple of £100 and whatever, because I was pretty on my arse at that time. So, yeah, I just signed up the B-Badge straight away, and I did.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people would see people going at it, bare knuckle in a boxing ring, and think, I don't want any part of that, let alone wanting to get it.
It's like that stigma about it, isn't it? It's fucking mad. It's raw, isn't it?
When you signed up with B-Bad to start, was it kind of like in your head, it was just a one-off in your head, I'm just going to sign up and have this fight for a bit of money, or did you think, I'm gonna have a good run at this and have a couple of goals and look for? So obviously you've gone on to win multiple titles and fight some of the biggest names in the sport. Main event, God knows how many shows. So
to be honest, guys, I never thought I would get as far as I did, but I didn't set myself any goals in it. Like I said, I probably just would have took it one at a time. There was no money in it at the beginning. It was still premature. Me and my coach Jenko flew to Newcastle, and it cost us more to fly up there and stay up there than what I actually got paid. Like, my first fight was for 300 quid. I done 4 fights on the bounce. I done August, September, October, November. So it was like 300, 500, 750. I was on a grand then by my 4th fight. Like,
that's mental, mate.
That's crazy. It's
bare knuckle as well in like 4 months, 4 fights. That's unheard of, isn't it?
I was in a show in December, so I had to wait till January. Obviously, big names started to come through then, and then they put the rounds up and things like that, and then the camp started to get bigger, and it just went massive, didn't it?
I've probably watched every one of Sean's BKB fights. I think I've seen every single one, and what I always used to notice early on was that you seem to always, although you didn't come from a boxing background, you come from like the Thai background and the kickboxing background. You was always fitter than a lot. Like even over a 3-round fight, you was gassing boys out. Yeah. So then I used to get frustrated because I used to watch you in these like 7-round fights for the world titles. Which I used to think that's his game. You put him over 7 rounds, he's going to burn anyone out. But then it used to frustrate me a bit then seeing you go back like the 5-rounders and the 3-rounders, like the prize fight, the one you've done.
I know.
And I just think the one rule I would like to see change is every fight should be 5 rounds minimum. Fight to 7 rounds. Even like a world title, I know the money is getting better and better now, especially to places like BKFC and that. Even 10, 12 rounds, I think that would really fucking put a different spin on the sport.
Yeah, set the bar again, and I know you're saying Jack boy, but in the beginning, like it was we had like pub fighters and things like that, didn't we? Yeah. So as it went on, then he started to bring the more rounds in and then the 7 rounds for the world title and things.
Yeah, I suppose they didn't have the many rounds in them, some of them, didn't they?
No, well, you'd see it, it'd be fucking mayhem for a round with a lot of them. And then second and third, they'd be useless, whereas like obviously Sean would be still going second, third, fourth,
now, wouldn't they? Not pacing themselves. But like I said, I come in from Thai boxing, so I had a lot to learn myself. Like, being bare knuckle boxing, I had to adjust everything, more side on and I move the head and all that. But it wasn't until Vince came in I started.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Fair play to Vince, man. Shout out to Vince. I fucking love him. Like
when you linked up with Vince,
unbelievable.
I think he was going to Jenko's or something like that. You could see you could see your style went from like a Thai fighter who was just fit and strong. You was moving your head, bobbing and weaving.
It was bad. It was working treats on
there. It was like where you knocked. I think is the one on Facebook with like fucking 10 million views. Where you kind of like weave under the one shot and just crack him with the right hand, and you can see that's like a boxing motion rather than a Thai motion, which is more kind of eye guard, sit and wait. That it was kind of just slip and bang, and Vin, you could. I think. I mean, you looked skilled in all of them, but especially when you was working with Vince is when you look like a boxer then as well. Yeah,
Jenko did so much for me. Like I said, when Vince come in, then we just made that thing. Then Jenko had me in the mornings on the tyres and things like that, the strength conditioning. I go off to work and I would see with my full-time job, and then I come back and where Vince would be waiting for me. I had good boys around me sparring. Vince was always keeping an eye on me, telling me where I was going wrong, what I should be doing, and fair play.
Okay, quickly touch on that, because obviously people who know you will know the schedule you used to run, but some people won't appreciate probably that you would get up. What time do you used to get up in the morning? Because you'd work like a 12-hour day.
Yeah, get up at 3, leave my house at 3.
That's 3 a.m. people. 3 a.m. That's not 3 p.m.
It's not going to bed at that
time.
That's
3 a.m.
I'd have to be in the gym for 4, which is Portland and Fry, for like a good 20 minutes away from me. So Jenko would train me 4 till 5, strength and conditioning, tyres and all that. I wonder what the neighbours was thinking that time in the morning. But I go off to work at 5 a.m, be in like Worcester and places like that for like 6:30, be in my machine for 7. I'd have to work all day until like 5, and then they'd let me go, where I'd go back on myself an hour and a half. Vince would be there then waiting at the gym for me, like at 6, 7. I'd have to train until like 8, that was 8, 9. Jesus. And then I'd have to go home and be a father, and then I got my dog and I'm 9, and then prep my meals for the next day, where I would do it all again. And like,
so what you'd probably have about 4 hours sleep if you're lucky.
I was trying to go for the 6. I'd have to go to sleep by 10 a.m. and back up and see like, so 5-6 hours.
So anyone who's complaining about not having enough time in a day is bullshitting, really.
Yeah, you just gotta want to do it, don't you? No,
I remember speaking to Jenko back before he went away. He was doing a bit of the gym in Marshman, and at the time, because obviously BKFC now is the big American promotion. You got You got BKB in the UK if you're not a BKB fan, and then you've got
BKFC
in America. And I remember him saying this was early doors for BKFC. I think they'd done maybe one show that
they started after BKB.
I remember him saying to me that they wanted you.
Yeah, they did.
To fly out and fight. Can you remember that kind of offer coming in? And
I fought Tyler Goodjohn. I did, and immediately after that Tyler Goodjohn fight, David Fellman, the owner of BKFC, emailed me personally and said, I want you out, but obviously I was contract bound to BKB, and I'm a loyal servant as well. Like, and I've had him mail me again since they've had the UK show in
London,
Wembley, Wembley. David Fellman and a couple of other people under him. You got that Andrew Bakewell of the BFBA as another UK promotion. He's getting the UK fighters together for that BKFC look. So yeah, they wanted me out there loads, but like I said, I've always been contracted to BKB, and I'm a loyal servant to BKB. I started with BKB, and I went out with him, like, Do
you ever wish you went over just for one fight for the money, or
like I said?
I think they paid.
You just said it there. It's all good going out there having that one fight for money. I got to come back to this country then, and I wouldn't want to get sued and that, like the other boys have and things like that.
Yeah.
Tyler Goodjohn, James Lilly, and Connor Tierney, they've all gone down that road. I don't know the outcome of it or whatever, but I just didn't want to deal with that shit, to be honest. And BKB have been good to me, but to be honest, they've been a lifeline for me. Like, if I needed something, I just mailed Joe Brown and boom, no questions asked, it's fucking there. Like, would I get that with BKFC? I wouldn't. I'm a BKB legend, not a BKFC legend. I'm a BKB champion, not a BKFC champion. You know what I mean? You got to look at the bigger picture, guys. I don't know. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, but
no, definitely. And obviously, I haven't fought in America myself. I can speak from that. Like, it sounds glamorous, going out there and fighting for 10 grand. But you fight in Vegas or New York, then bang, you're with a 30% tax straight away.
But,
then you come home and you convert the dollars to pounds. Then you pay your fucking flights and your hotels and your expenses. You probably
on the bill who've racked up going through camp and all that.
You end up, you're lucky if for some of the boys that are fighting for maybe $10,000 out there, you're lucky to break even on a fight camp for that.
Yeah. Do they then tax you again when you get back here?
I think how it works is the emergency tax they take obviously comes off your tax bill over here, so they'll either out or kind of out. It depends on what you earn that year. The difference is obviously if you fight in the UK or Europe, you'll get paid your full purse, and then you take your tax off your profit. Whereas when I fight in America, they'll take it off the top. So although I may spend $5 grand on a fight camp that I've got to obviously account for, they're going to take the tax off the top. They don't want to know about all that. So like you said, the grass ain't always greener. They are doing
it's all glitz and glam. It fucking ain't, but is it?
No,
people that just want to go out there and fight in America, like James Lilly. You've always wanted to just go out in America and fight, didn't matter about the money and whatever. He just wanted to go out in America, so I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, if it's your dream, follow it, innit? But you, I think on a conversation we had previously, you said that you don't even like the idea of going and do that, do you? You
prefer out of my comfort zone and things like that, but I like to make a day of it. I do. I won't want to go on the other side of the world and train and things. I just, out of my comfort zone, just...
It's tough when you've got a family as well. I struggle. Yeah. I mean, I haven't got kids, but I struggle to leave, my missus and the dogs, my mother and my sister. When I gotta go away for 10 days, it's people are like, fucking hell, out in Vegas fighting and fucking you got a life of it, and it's like, no, I fucking hate
the gambler,
I fucking hate it out there.
I'll be honest. What's going on home and your dog and things like
that. I would much rather fight in Cardiff, every time and just go to the weigh-in on the Friday, come home, sleep in my own bed, and then go up on the Saturday. I don't enjoy. It's not like you're going out there for an holiday. You're going out there, you're cutting weight, you're training, you've got the stress of. You think, right, I'm fighting now next Saturday. All this, you're not out there having a wait. You're not out there with the boys having a boys holiday. So
and it's a trip home, man.
I haven't got fucking 3 kids to come home to either. So I could definitely, like you said, I used to like it when it's just to make a day of it. Just get up on the Saturday, go down there, fight, and then you're back home in bed on the same night.
Yeah, wake up in your own bed Sunday morning now with your kids around me. That's what
straight to Greg's.
Yeah. McDonald's. Gave me the fucking McDonald's or Greg's house my foot long.
It's like standard procedure, innit? Every time on your Insta is there.
Yeah.
Before we obviously get into the injury and stuff, how many fights was it to get? 20 something?
22 bare knuckle fights, 13 wins, 7 lost, 2 draws. I've been there with them all, but big and small. I had the world title, the lightweight, didn't I? I had the British, 4 different weights, twice at bantamweight, I was in the prize fight, the semi-finalist, featherweight and flyweight world title contender against Dan Chapman and Tyler Goodjohn, controversial decision.
He definitely won that.
Tyler Goodjohn. They was building a star when they boys, and I'll always say this. They was building a star, guys. They had his documentary in the making. He had his all-time training out there, but On the other hand, then I've had a few fights where the decision have steered my way, and it could have steered that way. Like so.
But I don't think that good John. I get like a 50, like a close fight. If it steers one way or the other, because like I watched
him right.
I watched Gavin Gwynn fought Craig Woodruff on the weekend, and they give it a draw, and I watched the fight, and without giving an opinion, it could have gone. If either had won, you wouldn't have argued it. It was that close to a fight, but like that good John fight, I think what was it, 7 rounds?
7 rounds.
You won at least fucking 6 of the rounds. It's like I remember watching it because they were big. I don't know Tyler Goodjohn, but I remember they were bigging him up. And I see stuff on Facebook, and I watched the fight with my old man on the telly, and he was like, "Fucking hell, he's fucking walked this." And considering they were building, because they built this boy up, and we was thinking he's Sean's in for fucking. It's going to be a right back and forth, but they built him up and built him up and built him up, and then we watched the fight, and we was like, he's fucking won that comfortably, and.
Just counter-punched him the whole time.
Just fucking won it comfortably. Couldn't land a punch.
Split decision, wasn't it? Said all right there, split decision, and there's a few other.
And as soon as they said split decision, you just knew.
I said to Janko, but I looked at someone like Anne, and I looked over at Janko, and I said he's gonna have the last say in this. Now I won't say his name who had the last say, but it was Tyler's good mate who was fucking on the judging card, and and it didn't matter who was on them cards that night, but Tyler would have had decision anyway.
That's the problem sometimes with. Not just BKB, but boxing as well. You see a lot. There is corruption in it. Like it's
you've seen his documentary. That's what made it, wasn't it? Him winning that world title at the end, and
if he lost the title,
it wouldn't have been the same, would it?
They probably wouldn't have released the fucking documentary, would they?
And then you got the Dan Chapman, and people don't realise, but that built up over a year. That did, but 5 camps I put in for him until I fought him. He disrespected me and my family. Around the time my missus had a miscarriage as well, he was still chirping up. He was saying he was going to knock me out if I come forward, blah, blah, blah. And then on the day then, he shows up an hour late. It was all tactics, boys, man. Showed up an hour late, fucking rided up to the gills, and then he still didn't make the weight, and I just lost my fucking head then from them scales onwards. But
it was, a lot of people didn't realise that, because you was always very wound up for that fight when they were, a lot of people didn't realise.
They didn't see the bigger picture, but the COVID making camps go tits up and all that.
Didn't see about your missus going through what she went through. No one knew about that.
No, they didn't.
And then, it did come to, there's only so much you're going to fucking take, especially if you're a proud man, a family man.
Yeah.
And
knowing that I'd fucking done extreme measures and to make that weight on a day to keep me fucking waiting from the food and as well.
So what weight was that at 60?
I was 69.
That's 69 same day.
So 2 stone for that fight.
What are you walking around at now, just to put it in perspective? 80-ish?
80, 81, yeah.
So that's fucking 11k.
So
but that's... For those who haven't cut weight, that's for a same day weigh-in. So it's not like you can do a water cut the day before and rehydrate.
This is try and lose the weight over time.
You had to lose the weight.
And then the camp went tits up, so I put the weight back on. And then we back in camp, whacked down. Then the camp went tits up because of COVID, back up. Then Boris made the announcement he wasn't going to lift the restriction. See, that camp went tits up. Abby had a miscarriage, and I had the cut, didn't I? And we finally got it on then. Like I said, he showed up an hour late, roided up and all that, and fucking... And then he wouldn't fight me then, would he? He was on the back foot and I wouldn't exchange with me, just fucking knitting me and fucking ducking and dodging, the bastard.
Is he still
He hasn't been seen since, but that's gone a year now. Like realistically he should have stripped him of the title, but
because I hear rumours he was going back to boxing or he's going to trial for the Olympics or something like that.
Yeah,
he's going to go to amateur boxing, was it?
Apparently he's going to go into amateur boxing, coaching and things like that, and he can't be involved in bare knuckle if you do things like that, apparently. So obviously he's telling BKB one thing and obviously he's fucking on the other side.
Well, I know a few people wrote dropping a minute from the Welsh boxing scene that have, kind of had bollockings off the boxing board because they've had involvement with the BKB and they've kind of said, look, you're going. I mean, the boxing board's fucking nuts. I remember him. They give Gary Lockett stick before for cornering me in the UFC, and he kind of said it's not a fucking. It's not like he's doing some unlicensed small little show. He's fucking. It's on BT Sport kind of thing. So I can well imagine as well, like you said. But you would think if he is gonna continue, he would have fought by now a year down the line.
Yes.
You haven't know, he's on the other side of the world. Apparently, he left his gym in a load of debt. He apparently he was training people around his community and having grant money for it and all that. And he fucking done a bunk with that. It was like 10 or 15 grand. It's a good come off good sources. This have. So his gym have gone to dump. Some guy now is trying to run his gym. I'm not sure if it's for him or he just took it over, but it's not doing too good.
So before we go to the injury, what would you say? What would you say is your biggest win in BKB, and then your toughest fight, whether it's a win or a loss, your toughest fight physically being involved in?
Yeah, I say the best win for me was knocking Liam Cullen out, winning for the world title. I what a way to win the world title. I think it was 40 seconds in. We got the number one best knockout, or we did have at the time.
40 seconds, that's the way to do it.
That was after a controversial draw, that was. So me and Liam Cullen went 5 rounds, and they called it a draw, even though I thought I nicked it. I went off with Vince and got the motivation, and we done exactly the same again, trained for him, and come back and knocked him out. So I say that was the best moment for me, and my worst moment got to be like the Kev Bennett fight, you know. Even though I lost, and you know, I won the heart of so many people, he fucked me up that night, didn't he?
Was that the one with the eye socket?
Yeah, fractured my eye socket, broke my nose.
Did he ever fight again?
Yeah, he fought again. He fought after me.
Because he was ex-pro,
yeah. He fought a boy, Liam James.
I know Liam James used to fight.
Yeah, MMA
he used
boy
to fight
from
non-cage
Newcastle.
warriors. Yeah.
He's mucking with Conor now, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
So he gave Kev Bennett a cut. So he won the world title because of that cut. And then Kev Bennett come back then, and he fought Liam again and beat him, and then he retired, and he did.
That's the one thing with BKB that sometimes, that especially the UK promotion, don't make sense. Who's the guy that you beat last time with a big... You fought him twice, like back to back.
Yeah, Tony Lafferty.
So why did they rematch that fight after the first one? Because you won that first one comfortably.
Yeah.
Obvious.
You know, it wasn't close. It was a comfortable. No. So what was they thinking then to come to you and say, "Oh, you're gonna rematch him"? They trying to build him or something, or?
I think it was just the names on the roster, but I wanted Scott McHugh next. I don't think Scott McHugh was ready, so I think it was only Tony Lafferty or Nathan Leeson.
Right.
You know, Nathan Leeson don't make the weight, do you? I beat him. I beat him on the scales, but I fought him and called it a draw. So I didn't think Nathan Leeson earned his spot, but so I give it to Tony again. Like,
I think as well, aside from like you, Scott McHugh, Lafferty, in that like weight division, they're struggling for names a little bit now, aren't they? Because
Tony come off 2 losses to me, but then I'm on the operation bed having my eye done, and then they replace me with Tony, you know. And you've got new boys coming in fighting for world titles and shit, you know. Look at Dan McGrath, who we spoke on earlier. He just lost his title to a boy who never been in the ring before, mind.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I
mean, even if they have got a good pro background now, you should still have to have because you see it, like say the UFC, for example, like when they brought Michael Chandler in, who was the Bellator champion, they didn't just put him straight in. You had to have the one fight. You should have to have a bit of a...
You got to earn your stripes, haven't you?
Especially in a different sport completely.
Yeah, it's disrespectful to other people who've been on the cards for years and years, and they haven't got that shot, like, innit? And then someone just comes in off the street, boom, straight in for a world title.
What else guys you got now in the BKB? You got
Rocky. He's in and out, and he just lost his fight. That was fucking a dodgy elbow. I was, wasn't it?
You got Barry Jones.
Barry Jones, he's freeweight world champion.
He just beat Sweeney, I think.
Yeah, for the second time.
How did he beat him the second time?
I haven't seen it, but I heard one of my mates.
Was it cut the first time? Is that right?
It was sort of a cut the first time, but he bashed. Sweeney sort of had the first 2. Barry started to find the fucking home man for a straight left in round 3, and he went into round 4, and he stopped Sweeney. He did, and the second fight then was the same sort of scenario, but quicker. It all happened in the first round, but he knocked Sweeney down because Sweeney tried to box him, and then Sweeney come out there and tried to brawl him.
He's a good boxer, Barry.
Yeah, he's fucking...
You got Big Dan...
machine, innit, man? Just typical dull as fuck, hard as fuck Welshman, innit? You know, you don't like talking, no interviews or fuck all like that.
You got Big Dan Lerwell as well.
Yeah. He's coming off 2 losses,
he's fighting again now.
He's on the BYB now. He is next month, isn't he?
Is that a different promotion?
That's backyard boxing. That is from America. They got the Trigon, yeah. That's that Dada 5000 or whatever his name is, isn't it?
Yeah, are they kind of like co-promoting with BKB? Yeah, oh, nice.
So they're putting BKB boys on the BYB, and they're putting BYB on the BKB.
So you just touched on it, and we just get into it about. So you suffered an eye injury couple of weeks. Well, we don't, like you said before we start recording, we don't really know when it happened.
So I fought Scott McHugh.
Just go into how it came about, basically.
I fought Scott McHugh, and then I was getting ready for the rematch with Scott McHugh. I had a couple of boys coming up from sparring, so I couldn't really put my finger on it. You know, there was a number of names I was involved in, and I just felt a little niggle in my eye. So I'll mention it to the missus. She made me an appointment at the doctor's, and then this is where it gets serious then. So I went to the opticians, and they referred me straight to the Royal Gwent Newport Hospital, telling me I had a detached retina. So they referred me then straight to Bristol Hospital. It's like a special hospital for the eye surgery and they confirmed that I had a detached retina, and I went straight fucking for emergency surgery then, boys, on my left eye, like.
And that was, so you had the surgery, the first surgery, didn't you? And then
I had the first surgery end of July. Come home then, I did. Started recovering all that. I was back there in a week. They did a bit more laser eye surgery on the table, and then they gave me another appointment there for 2 weeks after that, where I went there, and then they told me that the first operation had failed.
Fuck.
That must have been a scary moment for you, mate. Like, just thinking.
Yeah, it was, man. For what I went through the first time, like, it's fucking horrible. But I never had an operation in my life, but, you know, fucking be put asleep like that and have someone go inside your eyeball, not just fucking on it or around it. They go inside your eyeball, like.
What's going through your head then? So obviously you've been to the opticians and now they're like kind of rushing you through.
Yeah, just
like going through your head and then
just shitting myself, like, you know, I just thought of work and things like that, and then my career as a fighter, like, you know, and then just come across the Bisping story, and then I was already familiar with the Bisping story anyway, like, you know, it was amazing what he did, but yeah, I'm in the same boat as him, but so detached retina.
Was it in, because being such a fighter, that was it instant as soon as you hear about it, that gotta be it? Like, I can't fight, or was it kind of, did you have to stew on it a bit, speak to the family?
I sort of stewed on it a bit,
I
sort of stewed on it a bit, the more the doctors told me, you know, it's a career-ending injury and things like that. But then I just looking into things then, and I looking at people who fought on, like Bisping and fucking Sugar Ray Leonard, and I know what happened to them, and they carried on, like. But yeah, it'd be silly to get back in there. So obviously the first operation didn't work. After going back there, they made me an appointment then to go back to hospital to have the second operation. So I'm just recovering from that now. I am.
So that one was she was just telling us about the oil, and you had to do was it 7 days?
Right, the first one.
Where your eye face down, kind of.
Yeah. So inside your eyeball at the back is a thin layer of skin called the retina that I've detached from the eyeball. The more fluid I guess behind that retina, the more it detaches, and it was inevitable and had to go blind. So the first time they done a bit of laser eye surgery on the retina, and then they put a gas bubble in place and something called a scleral buckle. I didn't have to posture that time. I come home, carried on my life and all. I don't know where I disturbed it. I did too much I shouldn't have been doing. But the second time then, they did the same sort of operation. They inject all the fluid out of your eyes like jelly, and then they laser eye surgery, the retina again, and this time now they filled my eye full of oil, and I had to posture then, lie on my side for 7 days and 7 nights, like, and not move at all, for the bubble to press against the retina, and hopefully it all fills itself back together. And then
I can only imagine how long them days must have felt. I can't even imagine
honest to God, but all the fucking dark time I had, boy.
Especially for like you, who's up and out. You're like a very active person.
Even sat by you now, but I'm fucking itching to do something. But, you know, it's just me. But anybody who knows me, but I just fucking go around in circles all the time, man, cleaning after the kids, and I just can't keep still. Whereas outside, inside, upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah.
And you had to do 7 days.
I had to do 7 days.
Down.
Yeah.
So when will you know? So you got to go back to the doctors now, or the hospital, sorry, to see.
Right. So I'm laying in bed now, doing this posture. Like, you love this now. About 4 days in, I was about 4 days in, getting comfortable with it now, fucking thinking, oh, am I gonna go back now a week after? Is it a week after the operation or a week after I got discharged? Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know. So anyway, I had the letter come through now. Abby opened the letter. Oh, it's Thursday, you've got to go Thursday. All right then, fucking Thursday it is. Fucking got my head back down. So Thursday come around now, arranged a lift for my mate. He was on his fucking way. I had to have a day off work, and I did. I thought, I'll grab our letter now just to take with me. And I grabbed the letter, like, fucking looked at the letter, said Thursday the 22nd.
A week later.
But so I built myself up for that day, like, you know. I got loads of questions I need answered and that, but.
So you was telling us that you got a oil in your eye. Is it oil? Got to put drops? Got to put in your eye now every single day?
In my 3 sets of drops, so twice a day for the pressure, 4 times a day for like steroids and fucking other ones then to keep it clean. Like, it's a nightmare. But
it's a serious.
It is, but yeah.
And it's not like a broken leg or a broken arm that eventually is going to heal. Like you say, if you don't do it right, you could end up losing the fucking sight in one eye.
Catch things like glaucoma. I got to have fucking cataract surgery in both eyes, like, where they're both being balanced, where the oil is pressing against my lens, and I know it's going to go misty and yellow now, see, so that's another operation. I got an operation now to get the oil out of the eye. There's a chance they could redetach the retina when they're getting the oil out, but so...
It's the not knowing as well, isn't it? That's the scariest bit. If you knew you were going to recover, you'd go through it like with a positive mindset, but not knowing, it's quite hard to probably keep yourself above water, isn't it?
I think you made the right choice as well, because in retiring, because like no amount of money, no amount of glory, no amount of titles is worth losing your eyesight.
I always said, boys, about an injury being the reason I didn't want to stop, and I always said about an eye, can you imagine losing an eye, but thinking about it now, it's like, as bad as it is, it's sort of a blessing, because
I was
matched up for September, I was matched up for December, but there was no fucking stopping me. But
you probably never would have stopped
no,
until an injury happened. So
it's too late.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's not better because this is obviously a very serious injury, but it's better to.
Yeah, a couple of people have said.
Imagine you got cracked. Yeah. You didn't know, but you got cracked and just bang, eyesight was gone straight away, or you don't know anything. A bleed on the brain, a concussion that gets worse. It could be fucking anything. So you've had a long, successful career.
There's no shame in bowing out.
No shame in bowing out when you did. Bowed out on a win as well, which always is nice because not many people get to do that, do they?
I think as well, like we talked about it on the way here. You've done it in the heyday of BKB as well. You fought all the big names. You've got the world titles.
He reminds me of like how. Let me think of an example. Like how Floyd Mayweather was kind of like a free generational fighter. So he did like the 90s, the thousands, and the 10s. Although yours haven't gone that long, you've come from like. You've done like the A-Bale days.
I've done the B-Bad days, the U-B bad days, to the BKB.
So you've gone from like the A-Bales, or in the ring in the field, to the ring in the marquee,
to the O2,
to the ring in the leisure centre, to the ring in the O2.
Yeah.
So you've done it all, to be fair. There's nothing left for you to do.
Same in Hall of Fame in UK and in America. That's a massive achievement.
What was that belt? You got the big fucking gold one. That's a good Gazette or something like that.
I got the Police Gazette Corporation belt from America.
There's a bit of history to that. Isn't that like the oldest belt in history or something? I've seen on Facebook.
That's like from the 1800s, isn't it? From like John O'Sullivan, the first bare knuckle champion, and William. It's like there's loads of names involved in it, but it is. But yeah, it's like a custom made belt, and it was around the time that Baz died as well, wasn't it? So on the back in black in gold, it got Baz, like, you know. It's like really sentimental, that belt. We had Baz's fight of the night as well. We did, didn't we? Me and Tony. I got a custom made Sean George BKB Hall of Fame belt. Like, you know, I got my achievements all on my fucking rack, like, you know. And I'm proud of them. I always will be, like.
Yeah, no one can take them off you. And but I think, like you say, it is the right call now. What else is there for you to go and get from here?
I was just going round in circles, wasn't I, boys, towards the end, like, you know.
Like you said, you're fighting the same guys.
Yeah.
Life after fighting then, what's your plans? Obviously after, just past the eye injury, where hopefully that gets all sorted.
So get my eye sorted now, get back to working on it, you know, and just rest my body and rest my head, enjoy Christmas, and then in the new year then I can look to fucking, you know, just coach people maybe.
I was just going to say, maybe what about coaching? Or
not so much as taking a class in the gym, but I could coach someone like individually, you know, and help them with their diets and training and things, and, you know, pad up for people and whatever, because it's up there knowledge, and I've been there and done it, but especially with the bare knuckle. But
would you ever do anything like with the company and like commentary or like punditry, stuff like that?
There'll always be a job for me on the BKB, but, you know, I'm the pioneer of the sport, and so they'll always look after me. Fair play. I gotta say, like, they have been fucking good as gold to me now, but just asking me, am I right? Is not enough. Going through Abby and making sure I'm alright, and I've got to have admiration for that now.
Yeah,
making sure I'm alright through my closest, like, because I might not want to say I'm alright. You know?
No, it's good that they do it, because they should do it. The amount what you've given to the company in terms of the views you brought in, the exposure. I don't know of anyone else with a company who've had as many fights as you, and has fought as often as you, apart from Sweeney. So that's it. That says it all. Is there anything else, Joe, on the list to touch on?
Yeah.
I think we had a couple of.
Whilst I'm looking here, I was going to say, have you ever seen the Joe Rogan episode when he has that Jesse Itzler on? He talks about having Goggins live with him for a month.
No.
Have you ever seen that? He employed David Goggins to come and live with him for a month, to just beast him for a month, just to harden him up, like. I think he would be like a perfect candidate, like to go live with people just to fucking.
I could see him. I could see him doing. I could see him doing like a Goggins, like a fucking ultra 3-day marathon or something like that. That'd be right up his street.
We did a step challenge at the start of the year, like
fucking blitzed a lot of him.
Finding the people who's committed enough, like me, you know. Janko say be in the gym at 4 o'clock. I'm outside washing my car, waiting for him at 3:30. But, you know, fucking AM that is mine.
Or like I can see him doing like the 24-hour races and
yeah. Well, yeah, you literally, mate, like, the skills you've got will pull over into other areas of your life, like, as they do in general. I thought about that, guys.
You know, on the other hand, then, I could just thrive off my children's achievements. Now I got my kids, you know, they're swimming and fucking Ada likes her drama, Abby's doing football, they're down the Celtic Pride and you know, they're just dabbling in this and that.
And you got a newborn baby as well.
Newborn baby, so it's down to me now to push them now, like, you know. So I got lots of options, guys. I got good people around me, especially my family, but I'll be fair play to her, but the shit I'm going through now, like, you know, other people haven't been there, but she been there fucking from start to the finish. Like, you know,
Yeah.
she's still there now, but
And
looking
having-
after that baby, looking
Yeah.
after them kids and that. But you know, fair play to her,
Having
man.
3 daughters is a full-time job for
Yeah.
anyone anyway, especially as they get older.
Yeah,
You'll,
I admire her strength, but you know, she's a fucking warrior. But I love her so much, like, you know, and it just brought us closer together now. This, but
You see who really matters and who cares for you when something like this happens.
yeah,
don't
you know,
you?
like I said in the car, I understand people got their lives and their jobs and that, but fucking a little message. When I see my mate in Greg's the other day, he said, you know, sorry I haven't mailed, and I'm like, what about the first stop or the second one? Like, you know, and
yeah.
I only heard off my fucking good mate yesterday when I had the first operation in fucking July, like, you know.
Yeah.
The delayed reaction, but I understand they got their own shit going on. It's a fucking cruel old world out there at the moment, but you know, there's price of living going up, and I don't know if we want to touch on that. It's a fucking nightmare, boys, isn't it? What's to come for us, isn't it?
Especially for the working class.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know what
for
I mean?
people fucking who's working all day and that, still struggling and that, but
Yeah.
No, there's kids, there's kids and families who, like we were saying last week, this winter, they're going to have to choose. Do we want to eat the house up or do we want to go and buy some food?
Yeah,
What
It's
are we gonna
ridiculous
pick?
that it's even a choice, isn't
You
it?
shouldn't have to make our choice, man. No one should be homeless and things like that. It's fucking what's going to happen, like, innit?
It's only going to get worse, I think,
It's
as
only
well.
gonna get
It's only going to
worse,
get
but,
worse.
For you personally, I know like you're off work at the minute. How does that fare? Like, you know, obviously you were fighting, you're earning money.
It's just
fighting,
worrying,
you were
isn't it?
working.
Financially, bottom line, but I'm fucking shitting myself. Like, I need to get back to work ASAP. My job just pays the bills, and then the fighting then took care of Christmas and all that, you know? Christmas and how we can cut back. I just got to keep them bills fucking paid, but I'm like, everything I worked so hard for, that house and that, but I'd hate to fucking take too many steps back now and lose it.
You still got the GoFundMe set up?
Still set
Yeah,
up, and yeah.
We'll chuck the link to the GoFundMe in...
Yeah, it's right, man.
because obviously Sean's a machine
machine
driver,
operator,
so he's obviously on the sick at the minute because he can't fucking legally drive a machine.
Yeah, I've had to put a
and
claim in for PIP and things like that. I'm still waiting on the letters. All that's going to be backdated, but I don't care about that. I just want to get back to work. I do, man.
We'll the description, Joe. We'll chuck.
Yeah,
the
we'll
link.
stick it in the description.
If anyone do want to donate,
I know you don't want to plug
it's
it too
cool,
much.
man. I
like,
appreciate it, man. Yeah,
Sean,
I put it out there.
Sean won't plug it, so we'll plug it for him.
Yeah,
so,
I felt bad putting it out there in the beginning, but you know, no one was stepping forward and helping me. I didn't feel I had many options, but so my mate mentioned it, and I thought, fuck it, I did it. And fair play to people, but they put their hands in their pocket and they looked after me. But
well, mate, like at the end of the day, people got to think like, look at all the moments in their life that
definitely,
they've had, maybe
man.
watching you, all the fans.
I
and whatever.
entertained for long enough. I put so much into that BKB, like, you know, and time to get a little bit back now, innit?
It's the loneliest sport in the world. Fighting.
I've always been on the end of the. I've always been on the end of the phone for the fans and that, but mailing me, going through tough times, and I've always praised them up and that, you know, and they've always looked up to me, and I've inspired them and all that. So, yeah, trying to get a bit back now, innit?
100%, mate. Well deserved as well, like I think. And I know it's not under the circumstances you'd like, but
yeah, it's cool, man. I'm still thrown down, but I'm alright, man.
You never know. We might have might be like a Bisping style document, you know, in a couple of years.
100%. I don't see, like, I think we talked about it before. The first time I come across you was the Good John fight, and then it was like that little. It was like a 10-minute documentary they did on you for BBC, was it?
Yeah.
I was thinking then, like, they could do like a full hour, couldn't they?
Easily.
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially when you, like you said, like we've only touched on a lot of it. We dive into the
I got lots of fucking stories, but
prison, then coming out of prison.
I do something on just the BKB career. I could go all the way back, like, and do an autobiography. Like, it's just I need
fucking
to just
10-part series. We
I need
need
to just sit down now and then just let it flow. Like, you know, have someone there writing it down or whatever. Just go all the way back to the beginning. I'd love to do that, but I've had some dark days, man. Fucking hell. We had a fucking one-off bringing up with it, man. You know, the end of the 80s going into the 90s, and I've had kids these days, but they're all wrapped in cotton wool. They don't fucking know, but, you know, it's before the technology, before the CCTV and all that, but, you know, we was on the streets, but time we got up, by time we go to sleep, we out on the streets, fucking none of this form malarkey, games and shit like that, but we made our own fun, like.
Yeah. It's a different world, isn't it?
Fuck, guy.
I feel like with your little girls now, how do you feel? Because I'm like, with my little one, I don't know if it's like just because you see it on the news and whatever, but you're like more worried about letting them out as if when we were younger. When I was like 5 or 6, you'd be like, all right, you're allowed around this area, don't go past that lamppost or whatever it was, and then a bit further every year. But now, like, you're thinking, because of everything you see on the news, social media, do you let them out or whatever? But I like to think that...
No, especially with females, but, you know,
it's a
with
bit of a
boys,
worry,
we entice them to go out and do stuff, and I with girls, but, you know, I'm shitting myself. I got all out of the camera, just a load of pain and worry I got coming back.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous world at the minute as well.
Is, but
especially anything, drugs, kids are drinking at younger ages, taking drugs at younger ages. Even stuff like the knife crime now. Like, you'd never hear people having knives in the valleys ever. it'd always be Cardiff or
it's just
Newport,
saying
but
their
it's
face now, social media, on the news, blah, blah, blah.
Starting to creep up now. I mean, I notice it, and I don't fucking go far. You know,
do you think it's worse now, or you just know about it more?
Oh, I definitely think it's worse now. I know if kids carry... I'm not saying that they'll all use them, but I know if kids... I see kids around town, 14, 15, fronting, and I've heard of stories of them threatening to stab people. Oh, he's got a knife on him. And
they think it's cool now.
They think it's cool. Like, they listen... and I can't say much. I listen to the same fucking music, but they listen to music. They're watching Top Boy on Netflix.
Influencers, isn't it?
You know, like I went to Cardiff a couple of weeks ago, shot my missus, and there's a fucking load of boys in foot asylum speaking like they're from London off Top Boy. I think you fucking Welsh, boy. Yeah, literally, it's like,
yeah, man.
It's fucking getting worse, but it's only going to get worse because the internet's fucking influential. You can't hide it. You can't hide things.
Just saying it, constant 24/7. But
they'll find a way to find it.
The divide isn't there, is it? It's like a one world country. It's like basically one world now. It's not a country. You're not separate. You're not valleys. You're not this. They're watching everything. Of
course they are.
It's crazy.
You got anything else to touch on here, Joe?
Yeah, well, I got questions from a few people.
Yeah, fire them in.
We may have covered it already, but this is just kind of like a general one. Do you think we'll see more big name MMA fighters doing BKB soon?
You might see MMA fighters doing BKFC soon.
Yeah, I think you're right there as well.
No, they seem to be crossing over. They got the pay-per-view and all that, but so no disrespect to BKB. Like, I said I'm a loyal servant, but yeah, they seem to be taking over.
I'd love to see have a crack at the BKB being Welsh is John Phillips.
Yeah, or
like
Jack Marshall.
Him or Jack. I'd say to Jack, and John's the same. They could make...
And they depend on their hands. They've always depended on their hands, haven't they?
They could make such a fucking... they'd have such a big
wave.
fucking... like a view watching them pay. Not even fighting each other, just going in there and fucking fighting. And I don't know... I'd love to see it.
Gachi was another one. He jumped in there, didn't he?
He jumped in.
Yeah, he was good as well.
He done the
BFBA.
That's right.
They've just
Bayfist Boxing
by
Association, have they? Yeah, because it's that Andrew Bakewell. Like,
he's brought them out, is he?
He's the one trying to scrape all the UK fighters up and all that. And they got some good names on there, haven't they? Tyler Goodjohn, James Lilly and all that. Conor Tierney.
Someone said, do you know that in America you're referred to as the Welsh Mickey Rourke? And what's your reaction to that?
I didn't know that, but it's good, that, isn't it?
Welsh Mickey Rourke or Welsh Mickey Ward?
Rourke.
I mean,
he's more like the Mickey Ward than the Mickey Rourke. I think Mickey Rourke's a fucking actor, but
he was a boxer as well. I think.
Yeah, I know.
I literally just googled him earlier.
He's the one with all makeup and
that's it. He done the wrestler film, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Mickey Ward, he's more like fucking.
That's what made him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mickey Ward. If anyone I've never watched it, go and watch The Fighter on Netflix with Mark Wahlberg. Fucking film.
Yeah, I didn't know they called me that. I know they call me Machine Gun Kelly, like, you know? Bastards.
The internet is undefeated, isn't it?
I didn't know Machine Gun Kelly done bare knuckle or something. Just take it with a pinch of salt, don't you, like, you know?
Don't read the comments, that's why I fucking learned. You can't win them all over.
No, I know, but on both sides of the fence, isn't they?
Is there anyone you want to shout out, Sean, thanks to before we wrap it up?
As always, but I just want to thank everybody, for the support all the way through my career and all that, coaches, fighters, sparring partners who've come and gone and all, my man Jenko, as always. In prison, Jenko, boy, hold it down, son, But family and friends, all the closest people to me, Just everybody for the support, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, so... As always, obviously, everyone, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to go to our Patreon, you can support us on there. And if you want to support Sean's recovery, we're going to put the GoFundMe link in the description.
Man. Nice one, guys. Appreciate that, everybody.
Yeah, again, like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed watching. And we will obviously try our best to keep everyone updated on Sean's recovery in future episodes. Maybe we'll have
guys.
When he's fully recovered and he's signed the film deal to do a film, we'll pull him back in.
Yeah, we'll do that,
mate. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. But yeah, nice one, Sean. Cheers,
thank you all.
As always.
Nice one, Sean. Bye.
Nice one.
Get those what we track for. Some man they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em, ain't like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls high, rolls back, my flow sharp like a hacksaw.